feel like you feel like you're the expert, but nobody knows you're the expert, right, Jen?
Yeah, that's for sure. I'm making sure we're all streaming, so we're good. Okay, making sure we're live. All right, keep
All
going.
right. All right. So anyways, we've worked with a variety of people, and some people like they're starting a new business and they're telling me, I just don't know how to get myself known and get authority and let people know what I do. So what we've done is we created a book for them, told them their whole story, and that's what launched their whole business was telling a book. So what you do is you get all this content in one place that you can share and have thousands of pieces of content. But now the marketplace has changed so much, don't you think, with AI, Jen?
Oh yeah, marketplace has changed a lot, and a lot of people don't are kind of scared of AI and they don't want to like embrace it or they think it's going to take over because they're watching the news that says that AI is taking over the world or whatever, instead
Yeah.
of just diving in and saying like, how can it help me today, and how can I use it to help to help my business.
Yeah, so there's different tools that I think are really useful, that you can use in AI. And there's some people who are just like dabblers in it, or there's the deniers, right? So you're denying AI, like, oh, I'm not going to use it. I'm scared of it. I don't think it's good. I don't think, and I get it. It's like, is it going to take over writers and creator people and all that kind of stuff? And so they just don't want anything to do with it. And then there's people like, oh yeah, I tried ChatGPT a little bit. There was a college student that's my neighbor who wanted some mentorship, and she was graduating and going into the job market. And I asked her if she knew anything about AI, and she's like, well, I've been on ChatGPT a couple times. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like it's like saying when the internet came out, well, I went on there, but I don't really know what to do with it, right? So gave her some mentoring, gave her some instruction on what she should know and how she can use it. Now she's got a new job at a law firm, and she's like, it's helped me so much, and they're having the conversation about this, and she feels like she's the smartest person in the room now.
Yeah. I
So
love that some of my friends are embracing it a little bit. Like I'll
mhm.
tell them, they're like, "Well, what are you making for dinner this week or what's your favorite thing to make for dinner?" And I'm like, "Oh, I just put ingredients in my chat GPT and it tells me what to make." And then I have a whole recipe. Or if I need a high protein meal plan, and I've put that in there and it's helped me. So there's ways you can use it in your everyday life, not just for your business. But if
Yeah.
you understand how to do the prompts and how to put in the, input the information that you want to
Yeah.
input, then it will give you back what you want to have back, right? So it's really
For
cool.
sure. So, we have the deniers, right? And then there's the dabblers, like that's still like doing recipes, like you're using it a little bit. And then there's the dominators. So,
Hmm.
if you want to be a dominator, and we talk about that in our new book that's launching today, the link is in the bio for this. So, to be a dominator, that means that you're really maximizing what AI can do for your business. So, it's about processes. Like my one son's like, oh, you shouldn't say that you do AI. And I said, well, think about it as really these are these are tools that we're using, right? They're systematic tools that you can use in your business. So I got
Hmm. Yeah, if you were a contractor
to.
and you said, well, I don't really want to use a table saw, like I don't want to use a circle saw, I just want to do it by hand, then you're going to take forever sawing and cutting the boards, right? But if you understand how to use a circle saw, you're going to be able to cut it and do the precision cuts and get your work done very quickly. So it's just a tool. And so that's what I like to kind of put that analogy together because if you know how to use the tool, then it's going to be easier to do things in your life. And I know some people are kind of scared because they're like, well, I don't use Chrome anymore. I don't use Google anymore because it's forcing me to use Gemini. It's forcing me to have AI. And it gives you, if you notice, if you search Google now, it'll give you a result at the top that's AI. And then underneath is the actual algorithm of the results. But it's okay. You have to embrace that. And I know Google's kind of forcing you to use it, and so is Apple. If you have an Apple phone, they have the Siri now, the AI, but they're trying to help you in your life. And the AI is just helping you if you know how to use it right.
I love that analogy about the circle saw, right? And you just have to learn how to use a new tool and use it safely. Like it's scarier because it moves fast. Oh my gosh. And I remember people when the internet came out, they're like, I would never put my credit card in the internet. What if
Hmm.
someone steals all my
I
data, which
remember that.
happens. But now, your credit card, Amazon has your credit card, everywhere you buy stuff has your credit card, and more people are buying things online than they are going to the stores. So, and that's kind of what's going to happen is this evolution. One person that I listened to that talks about AI, they say, gosh, you have like a 3 to 4 year window to start to embrace it in your business. And that was about a year ago. And now they're saying you really have months to get it involved into your business, to make it go faster and be more profitable. Otherwise, you're really going to be behind. Uh, hey, there's dogs in the background. Yay. No, the dogs are good. They can bark. It's all right. It's real life, right? When you have dogs that are there. So anyways, so we were talking about the dabblers, the deniers and the dominators, and what tools you should really use to dominate. So let's dive into some tools that we use that we talk about in our book that you can use for your business. So of course there's ChatGPT. So let's dive into some of the tools you should use within ChatGPT that we've used for our clients to help them go faster in what they do. So
Yeah.
one of the things we love is a custom GPT, which that is, I have one, Jen has one. So we've taken content that we already have and put like our profile of who we are, maybe our values, our tone, like if you're energetic or you're more professional, like what do you talk like? And we put that in there. So now we have this custom GPT. So when our team members or your social media team is creating content for you, it'll create it already in your voice using your language, your adjectives, your nouns that you typically use. Now, I'm not saying copy and paste this. It still has to be edited and gone through, but that's one of our secret weapons.
Yeah, I love custom GPTs. And for those who have been using ChatGPT for a year or more, they probably understand what that is. But I think that some people don't realize what the power of the custom GPT is. Now, of course, you can create your own, like Melanie was just talking
Mhm.
about, but ChatGPT has a whole library of custom GPTs. And
Yes.
this library is everything under the sun. Like you can grab somebody's custom GPT that they created and it's public for everyone to use, whether you're
Yeah.
in real estate investing or you want to ask a question to a lawyer or you want to be the best French cook or whatever. You can find these custom GPTs and then ask the questions and you get a different output than you would if you just said, give me a French recipe for this, French
Mhm.
cuisine, right? If you're using the custom GPT, then you're going to get a better output. And so I
And
just love custom GPTs and I love telling people, oh, did you know you have this over here? And you can go through this library and see what kind of custom GPTs people have already created that you can use.
right. So you don't even have to reinvent the wheel sometimes when you're doing it. And the other cool thing is, you come up with this prompt, this elaborate prompt. Maybe you've saved it in somewhere, like in Google Drive or somewhere, and then you got to go back and copy and paste it. Or you got to be like, what was that prompt I used last time? And try and look it up. But if it's in a GPT, it's already embedded in there. So every time you go in there, it's using that same prompt to create that next bucket of material. So
Yeah.
it's right there. And the other cool thing we like is projects. So like when we were working on this book, we had everything for the book in a project. So it was only drawing from the information in the project in ChatGPT.
Yeah,
Which,
let's talk about that for a minute. So
yeah,
we wrote this book in a not very many days, like 4 days or so that we got the content of the book laid out. And we went in March, was it March? We went on a trip together because it's our 10-year anniversary and we wrote this book. And it was actually really fun and we had a beautiful setting. So it was really nice to have no distractions and just sit and write. But we used this project on custom or on ChatGPT and we basically uploaded a bunch of content that Melanie and I already have. Because Melanie's done a TED Talk. If you don't know Melanie Johnson, look up her TED Talk on YouTube.
thanks.
It's a TEDx talk we did a few years ago about leaving a legacy and writing. So we uploaded the transcript of the TED Talk, and then we've written a bunch of other things. So we added that to the project, and we just uploaded a lot of content that we knew we
Mhm.
wanted to be in the book, right? So it wasn't
Right.
like you just start from scratch. You have all this content you've created and you could submit that or upload that. And then when you ask the prompts, it's gathering information from what you've already submitted.
Right. And so what the beauty of this, like we talked the title of this or subtitle is Be Known, Be Profitable, and Be Published. So the biggest thing is using these tools to be known,
Mm.
right? To get your message out there, to um, get on all the different platforms so people are starting to know who you are, creating content, whether it's video content, whether it's repurposing content that you have. So let's dive deep into, so we talk about a lot of tools in here. One of my favorites is Notebook LM. I've been using
Mhm.
that recently. So this is how I used it for this book, and we're getting ready to launch all this material. So we uploaded the chapters of this book in there, and then each chapter has become a podcast. It's become a study guide. It's become a blog post. It's become different quotes that came out of it that we can do. So many different things once you create a book that you can repurpose that content using AI and these tools that make it so much simpler instead of having to go through, okay, what are the quotes from each chapter? What are the best things from this chapter? How do I write an article from this chapter? Right? It just does it for you.
Yeah, I love that. And I love because you can just add the content and then it creates all of it.
Yeah, it's so cool. Then another secret tool that I blow people's minds with, it's more of kind of an advanced tool in a way, is called Nope. No, oh my gosh, I'm gonna confuse my tools. It's called Chat Hub. So when I was just at the FinCon conference talking to a group, when I explained to them Chat Hub, they were like, "What?" So there's all these different AI tools. There's Gemini that Jen mentioned. Of course, there's Chat GPT, there's Grok, there's several others out there. I can't llama. I mean, there's a bunch of them that you can use. So this you're like, okay, I got to go each one individually, put the prompt in. This one you can put one prompt in and it'll do up to 6 different ones at the same time. It is a
Yeah.
little overwhelming, and all the content is
Well, you
slightly
can choose
different.
just two. You could choose three or
True.
four. You can choose how many you want. I love Chat Hub. I use it a lot because ChatGPT gives you a totally different prompt output than Gemini. So,
Sure.
or than Claude, right?
Yes. Oh, and we love Claude. Claude's another one that we use a lot. We use Claude a lot to create this book, honestly. So it's a better writer and content writer, at least at the time when we did this. And I still love Claude for doing that. That would be my go-to. Like if you're going to do long form content that you're writing, a book,
Hmm.
a manifesto, I would start with Claude,
Yeah.
create the content there. And then like we did the project in ChatGPT is the
Yeah.
format we did. Um,
Let's talk about the controversial subject of AI writing your book for you. Because some
oh
people are
yeah.
like, wait, what? You mean AI wrote your book? And it's like,
Hmm.
well, there's a rule that we learned from one of our mentors called the 10-80-10 rule. And this is in our book. We talk about it in our book, Be Recognized, that you can buy today. And we have it on sale for you for 99 cents, just so you know. But the 10-80-10 rule is basically you give AI 10%, and then it gives you back 80%, and then you have to edit it 10%. But we have changed that in writing this book because it's not like that's not right. It's more like 20-60-20 because
Yeah.
you have, like we said, we gave it so much information before it even started writing the outline of the book.
Yeah.
So you had to give it more. And then it gave us about 60% of the content, but then we had to go and add more. We had to add stories, we had to add content, we had to edit it, we had to rearrange it. And then at the very end, of course, you still have to edit it, read through it. It's still the same process as a regular book writing project. So you can't just copy and paste and put it up there, and sell it, because then it is just AI wrote it and you didn't write it.
Yeah, so true. So also in our book, like just to give you a preview of what's in our book, we talk about creating content faster and smarter, which we were kind of just talking about here, how you do it. There's another great tool called Oasis that we use. Oasis, you can put in 1 or 2 sentences even, or a paragraph, and it spits out tons of content all at one time. New York Times bestselling article, a blog post, a Twitter/X post, a BS filter. Everyone always asks me, what's a BS filter? I'm like, well, it's kind of like cutting through the noise. And what am I really trying to say? That's in there. It comes up with a script, a YouTube script for you. So there's a variety of things in Oasis that it does, which that's one of our other secret weapons that we use all the time.
Yeah, I really like the Oasis. I use it a lot. I think I'm frozen.
You are
Frozen.
frozen, but
Well,
that's,
there we go. I'm back. I was frozen
yeah,
with my tongue out. That was really good.
yeah, you're
I
unfrozen. Yeah.
like that. But yeah, I
Oh,
love the Oasis. The Oasis has been a really good a really good tool to use because you can do so much with it.
Yeah.
We had a client that we were writing articles for, and the Oasis helped a lot to get the articles written.
Yeah, it was really good. And then the other thing that I think is important in this book that every business owner wants is sales, right? How
Hmm.
do you use AI to help you get sales? So we walk through to get customer communication. So it's really great. What we like to do is like usually we have Fathom running a lot of times authors will or business people if you record your Zoom calls we use a tool called Fathom and then Fathom will automatically send who you're talking to, the video of what you talked about, plus the transcript, plus a summary. So that if they're like, oh, what did we talk about? What did she say on that call? I took notes, but I didn't take good enough notes. They have all of that right there and it sent it to them automatically right there.
Hmm.
You want from there, you could take the Fathom recording and then say, I need to do a sales letter reply to them, or even for the proposal that you're going to do. And then you make sure you didn't miss anything, right? Did I miss anything in the proposal? Let me make sure my cover letter is right and I cover all the bases. And it really helps with that, because
Yeah.
life is so fast paced. Poor Jen, she just had her whole basement just flooded.
Oh
So
yeah.
life gets in the way and then your mind is filled with all these different things. You're like, oh my gosh, life gets in the way. Stuff happens and then your mind is filled with all these things. So it helps you stay on track if you haven't had enough caffeine that day too.
There you go. Well, I love Fathom. I think Fathom is a great way. I was gonna tell the story of what happened when it went wrong. So, what happened when it went wrong? So there's a thing like Melanie said on Fathom. You can say send as soon as the meeting's over. It sends to anyone on the call. So if you
Yeah.
create a Zoom and you have 3 or 4 people on the call, and then you can turn on automatic, which automatically emails them the recording.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was on, and I was doing interviews for a job that we had, a job listing that we had for a publishing coordinator. And I did a group interview. So it was all the
Yeah.
group was there. And afterwards, instead of pushing stop, Melanie, everyone left, but Melanie and I continued to talk about what we liked about each of the people that were on. And then we chose who was going to be our publishing coordinator. And then we ended the call. And then about 15, 20 minutes later, I was going through my emails and saw the Fathom recording, and I thought, and it had the summary, and it basically has in the third point who we were going to hire. It says they chose this
Like,
person
oh
because
no.
of this. And I was like, oh no, yeah, that doesn't work. So I basically had to go and take them off the video and delete it and hurry and email them to say who we chose because so they wouldn't be upset that what they heard about what we were saying
Yeah.
about
So you do have to be careful with AI and these tools. They can get carried away of what they're doing. But
yeah.
it is great for sales. And
Hmm.
another great thing I like using ChatGPT for in sales is giving me sales advice. Like you can
Hmm.
channel the top sales experts, right, that give advice. Dan Kennedy, people like that, and put that in there. And you can put your recorded sales calls and say, analyze my sales calls. What did I do right? What did I do wrong? How can I improve? So it can
Hmm.
really help your sales team doing that. So I think
Yeah,
that's super important for sales and connections.
I
Um,
do too.
mhm.
Let's talk about napkin AI. So we have a few images in our book, and we use napkin to create these images. So they're kind of like diagrams. Yeah, they are kind of light colored in the book, but if you get the ebook, which is on sale for $1 today, you can see them in color, and you can click on the image and zoom in so you can see them really well. But I really like actually, I think our hardcover book is also in color.
I think
So
it
you
is.
can
Yeah.
get the hardcover book, which is in color, if you want to see those. But napkin is a really good one. So all these tools we're talking about seems like we're mentioning a lot. If you get our book, we have an actual giveaway. In the beginning of the book, if you scan the QR code, you can get a PDF download of all
Yeah.
of the list of the AI tools that we love. And it's actually in the back of the book as well. But I really love that we do the free PDF because it's nice just having just a one place, to go to get the tools and what they're used for and how to use it.
Yeah. So today only our book is 99 cents for the ebook. So please grab it. The link is in the bio to get our book. We would love you to support us. And it's not just about supporting us. This book has so much great content in it. If you follow the plan, it gives you at the end of each chapter, it has a summary and it has an action item list of what you should do. And it gives you a 90-day plan. So these are the tools that you can use that can take your business to being more profitable, more known, and you can even get started writing a book for yourself. So we really encourage you to do that. So, I mean, you've got to embrace these tools because, people want to trust a company that has strong leadership, right? And when you are a strong leader, then it really is because you've had a book. They say the most trusted people are doctors and authors. So that's a cool thing, that you can jump into that. And we teach you how to do creating a high ticket offer, how to transform your business. There's signature offers that you can do in here. So really, it's just a step-by-step guide in this book for you to how to use AI, how to make more content and be more streamlined for sure. And then we have a chapter, the book that builds the empire. So that really shows you not just creating a book, right, Jen, but it's taking that, I think, and making thousands of pieces of content. And I would say so far, we have about 1,000 pieces of content that we have already created from this book that we're going to repurpose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we believe in repurposing content because
Mm-hmm.
why reinvent the wheel? Why keep doing something over and over? So one of our favorite stories is about the minimalists. If you haven't watched The Minimalist on Netflix, it's a great documentary. But The Minimalist, it's a book. It started out as a book. The authors who wrote the book, they just repurposed their blog posts and they just bound it in a book. And they self-published it. I'm sure they got an editor, but in the beginning it says we just put our blog posts in here. Like so, but they categorized them in a specific way so that it made sense.
Yeah.
But then they did a book tour and they documented the whole thing and then put that up on Netflix or, pitched it to Netflix and Netflix bought
Yeah.
it. And then their second, there's a Minimalist 2, and that is kind of like what happened after that. And their next
Yep.
book tour, because I don't know if they did a second book. I think they did a second book and then did a book tour for
Yep.
that and then also made that into a Netflix documentary. So, I mean, you could
Yeah.
just repurpose so much. And even now, their podcast, they're really just talking about the same things that's in their book. All the blog
Yeah.
posts that they did 10 years ago, 15 years ago, however long ago it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
That dates me. But the podcast, the Minimalist podcast, like I just saw one of their reels on Instagram and they're talking about, not owning stuff and being a minimalist and don't buy this and don't buy that and get rid of your stuff because you're not taking it with you. But I love that they repurpose their content. And I just think that's a really good example of how you can repurpose the content you have and you don't have to
Yeah.
start fresh every time.
So in our last chapter, we talk about the 3 stages of AI reinvention. So there's assist, augment, and automate. So to assist, it's like, think of AI as your personal assistant, right? I'm reading this, who never sleeps, never gets tired, never needs coffee breaks. You're using AI to save time and knock out all that busy work. So we have saved, I think, at least 100 hours a month with new AI tools that we've used and incorporated into our business. So we even wanted, I was like, hey, Jen, we should probably have like a quick outline of what we're talking about today on our live. So I just went into the projects that we have and I said, hey, I need a live script. Can you do an outline for me? And I was thinking, okay, at first, if I had to go through the book and do that, it was going to be a good hour. And I was like, wow, that only took me 2 minutes. And I got the rest of my evening free now. That was great.
Yeah.
So, you know, and it talks about, doing a brain dump, right? Instead of starting with a blank page, just brain dump what you're thinking, put it into AI and let it be your assistant.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so get the book today. It's 99 cents. And that's the ebook. If you want the paperback or hardcover, they're available as well. And
Yep.
please leave us a review. We'd love to know what you thought about the book.
Yep.
Um, and and you can grab it today. We're really excited.
99 cents only today. Thanks, you guys. Get it and tell us what you think, because we really, really, really want to hear what you think about the book.
And then we'll read the last page. So the future belongs to the bold. So step up, stand out, and lead. And that's the end. That's what's at the last page of the book. So check
Awesome.
it
See ya.
out.
Thanks for joining us. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.